Andy Cohen made two interesting statements. One was that he could see New Jersey, he could see a world where we have New Jersey without Melissa and Teresa. If I were Melissa and Teresa, I would really take that in. Like that's
what Andy, you know, I think Andy overpromises when it comes to things like wait till the last 5 minutes, or this is the, you know, the biggest Beverly Hills reunion ever, you know, whatever. Mm-hmm. But I think when it comes to stuff like that, I think that is kind of like, I'm verbally just saying that we can do the show without you. You know, I don't need to say anything else than what he just said. And I think that, you know, as an audience member, when you promise something that we're going to watch, maybe you thought it was going to be good, but we didn't. But when he's talking to the ladies, you know, through different channels, like I can imagine a world without both of them. Actually, I can imagine Jersey without both of them.
We'll see. And I think that, like, because today the theme is soft launch to the divorce, I think that was like his soft way of saying, look, this has been cute. It's been great for TV ratings. If you guys are going to try to use this to negotiate contracts, I'm shutting you down right now by just simply letting you know the show will go on.
Yes.
And in another interview, he made it a point to let the fans know that New Jersey is not at the RHONY reboot point yet, but he could definitely see it happening, which is also another thing that you really don't want to hear if you're one of the cast members. Like RHONY, they somehow lucked out with this legacy thing. It's great for them. If you ask them, like I've had a few conversations, Jason knows this, with some of the women, some of the women really enjoy this Ultimate Girls Trip contract as opposed to a Housewife contract. They have more leeway. They can take on other sponsorships. They can do other shows. They're not limited. And they get paid anywhere from $150,000 to $300,000 for going and filming for 10 days plus pickup shots.
Yeah, let's take a trip. Yeah,
take a trip. Why wouldn't you do it? And they get to do everything else. And because they're on Ultimate Girls Trip, whoever's representing them can push them out into other shows because they're still relevant. Which is kind of
exactly it's a win-win, right? Yeah, that's a good way of doing it. You know, my only worry, I don't mean to break away from the Jersey conversation, but my only worry is seeing, you know, I'm actually still very excited for the new revamp of The Real Housewives of New York. But the more I watch like this trailer that's like in our face, like 3-4 times like an hour, you know, I'm like, I hope this is good. I hope this is good, because if they can't prove themselves here, there's been many times where like Bravo's dropped the ball when they've done like new things. Like, why did you cancel Family Karma? That was a great show. But then
did they cancel it though, or did they just not? Are they going to try to make Family Karma go away with canceling one of the most diverse shows on Bravo without making an announcement?
Ask the cast, you know, like it's unfortunate because that was a show that was like really built. I know. Hello, they don't have contracts sitting in their hands. It wasn't announced that it's coming back. You know, it would be a disservice to the network, but I really hope New York is good, because if it's not, I think I might lose some interest, but also I won't trust anything that you tell me anymore.
You know what? And I think this is so important for you and everybody else too, because I know that you're just like, we're on a live right now. So you're just like putting out whatever you're thinking.
Yeah.
This is like a good reminder for people too, because we know this season of Dubai is going to be so good. But then when you first get a new season, you get new people. We have to meet them. Do we like them? Do we not? It takes us a minute. Usually it takes us about 2-3 seasons. It's going to be the same thing. We have to get to know. We're invested. That's the difference, is we're invested in our OG cast members. We're not invested in these people. We don't know them.
No, listen, it took me 1 second to know I wasn't invested in Dancing Queens.
That took me no, not even.
I think that took you the trailer. I was like, ballroom dancing. I love ballroom dancing. But then like it's amateur hour and mixed with housewives. And I'm like, ugh. And mixed with like really boring drama. Like my friends like run dance conventions and stuff like that. I used to be a dancer. I used to be a professional dancer, paid for. Like, I don't want to see this. You know what I mean? If you want some real dancing drama, you chose the wrong platform, you know?
Yeah. LaMonica Coleman said, you and me both, Jason.
Unfortunate, because I was excited.
Yeah. All right. Well, moving on, kind of just to wrap us up a little bit. Frank Catania was also sharing a little bit, and he was letting us know that after the reunion, he ended up meeting up with Louis. Now, he said that he kind of feels bad for Teresa at this point because she's getting so much pressure from all sides over Louis Ruelas being on the show. And he's like, I don't know what she's going to do. But after the reunion, Louis called me and he's like, listen, I want to fix this. So we ended up going to lunch and I told him what I thought he did was wrong. He told me I would never do that. He didn't believe me. I didn't believe him. So we couldn't come to a meeting of the minds. Do I have respect for the fact that the guy called me in the first place? Yes. Is there any movement? No. And then on top of that, you have Melissa and Dolores. And in this whole situation, Melissa Gorga is addressing Dolores's sleep with one eye open comment at the reunion because she was saying that Jacqueline Laurita is crazy, right? Remember, because she was like, oh, you better be careful, Melissa, bringing up Jacqueline Laurita. And she clarified that that pretty much means Jacqueline Laurita will not stop. And she will go to great lengths to expose anybody on the cast. And Melissa, if you have something to hide, you better keep your fucking mouth shut, is what Dolores was trying to tell her, which is interesting because I wouldn't think like that. Like if I knew that there was this person outside of our friend group and I had a friend, like say it's me, you and Shaylee, like I wouldn't look at Shaylee and say, Shaylee, don't bring this person up. You better shut the fuck up, because I wouldn't assume that Shaylee had anything to hide.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So does Dolores know something?
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I would never just assume that my friend has something to hide. I would just be like, honestly, that person, yeah, call him out. Who cares? Like,
maybe she doesn't know if she has anything to hide.
What?
Maybe she doesn't know if she has anything to hide, you know?
Yeah, and maybe this is her kind of like, you think Margaret, like right now, Melissa, you're on that side on the same couch with Margaret, and you think, oh, okay, well, I don't have to go up against the Arsenal. There's a whole other Arsenal that's lingering. You better shut up.
Yikes. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, all Jersey. Right. I'm so glad we have a little bit of a break from Jersey. I'm not going to lie. But really, really curious to see how they're going to also formulate the next season, like Vanderpump Rules is doing. You know, it's like, well, where do we go from here?
To kick us off, like kind of wrap us up for...
I'm going to say to kick us off. Are we going for another hour?
No, we're not. I'm going to play this Albie thing, and then I'm going to show you one Potomac thing, and then we're out of here. Guys, over 1,000 in the room, smash that like button. Here's Albie.
When I say I started at 22, these were like kids.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like I thought of them very differently. I was very protective over all of them. It was a different kind of thing. Like I felt like an uncle or a cousin in a lot of ways, you know?
Yeah. And you know, Gia this season on season 13 is kind of in the same position that you've kind of been in before. And she had to stick up, you know, for her mom and her family on this season. And it's like so talking down about, but how do you feel about that? Like you've had to do it. Don't you think she has a right to do that and a right to say it? And she's kind of your age that you're in now, or that you were in.
How has it been talked down about?
In the sense where it's like you're a child, so do not get involved in
this. No, that's nonsense. Like she's got every right to do it because look, this is kind of the thing too, right? With everybody that watches the show, this is exactly what I mean. You're not trying to have a dialogue.
Yeah,
you want your mind made up. Okay, so people, if they're saying that, they want Gia, okay, to be an entitled brat that shouldn't have an opinion, or how dare you get involved in the adult business? Well, listen, not for nothing. This kid's been on TV for 10 years.
Yeah.
Okay. She's been exposed to nothing but this. She's had to grow up fast. Okay. She's smart as hell. She's sharp. For her to accomplish a lot of the things that she's accomplished with the background of all of this is insane. And they should be talking about that. But if I'm Gia, I mean, can we curse in this podcast? You guys
absolutely.
I mean, to me, it's just what I do. If I'm Gia, I wouldn't listen to a single word of any of that, and I would just absolutely tear up wherever you want to tear up. In the sense of like, well, look, I think she's got herself together too much to handle herself the wrong way, you know. And I think that she has every right to, you know, defend however you want to defend.
Okay. I mean, that makes sense. That's
true. I see two sides of it for sure. But yeah, that does make sense. I agreed with that.
All right. We'll let you guys sit on that one.
Yeah, I'm curious though. I want to, like, if you do comment below, I want to know how you feel about that, because I do think that Gia did grow up in that, you know, with not much of a choice of having to grow up in that kind of reality or not so reality TV, she's entitled to an opinion. She's an adult now. You know, if you're going to film her, she can say what she wants.
All right.
TV
deets. Hey, now girl. You know the Grand Dame throws the best party in Potomac. Karen Huger's 60th birthday bash was a whole thing. Okay, Potomac.